Hey, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 Let's Play. We're in part 2 with Shadow's very hard playthrough. I've said what I needed to say in part 1 of this playthrough, so let's just get right to the questions again, shall we? Okay, Bubbles is shot 46853 asks, my friend Chris gave you Billy Hatcher at that one convention. Chris! That was his name! Yes! Okay, whew. Okay, for the longest time, like I really wanted to make like a thank you video or a thank you let's play, and I completely forgot the guy's name. It was just like, I met so many people at that convention that I was nervous, and I completely forgot the guy's name that donated Billy Hatcher to me. But you say his name is Chris, or tell Chris thank you very much. And I'm so sorry that I didn't really get to that game eventually. I am getting into it very soon. Actually, it was one of the games I was planning on doing after the next marathon. But tell Chris thanks again for that donation. I really do appreciate that. I can finally get to play the damn game. But yeah, I would get to a review of that before we ever do like a let's play or a SmackDown Sunday. What? Shattuck Roth ZZ 1998 asks, will you ever stop playing Sonic games? And as long as they're still good, I'm going to keep playing them. Well, as long as they're, consistently good anyway. When the franchise dies, it dies. And even when it dies, it's not going to stop me from playing the likes of like Sonic 2 or 3, or stuff like that. So, I guess not. Gold Bananas asks, but John, what about Boss Rush Kappa? Okay, I know what the Kappa means, but no. No, that is my one exception to this DLC rule I have with this game. Very hard mode playthrough, yes, I will agree, doesn't change that much. It cranks up the bullshit, no doubt. But Boss Rush, what it is Boss Rush, if we're just going to go into it right now, it makes the bosses harder in a sense where they change the stipulations around the arena. Like there's more enemies surrounding the thing, and with like certain bosses you just have to get around that sort of thing. But in essence, it's the exact same goddamn thing. And like in between like boss fights, you have like these sequences where you just have to kill a lot of enemies in the boss arena, and that's not fun. That's just boring and monotonous. So yes, I am being redundant as fuck with very hard playthrough, but that's where I draw the line, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna bother with showing off the Boss Rush DLC. There are other ways to look at it. You can buy it yourself if you're that curious, assuming you have this game. But this playthrough, this Let's Play, will finally end with the last part of Shadow's very hard playthrough. That's it. I promise you, actually. That's how much I'm going to say. I promise you. After this playthrough's over, after this very hard mode run-through is completed, the only other time I'm ever going to play Sonic 06 ever again is for comparison's sake to other Sonic games if it calls for it, or if it's for charity. I will play the game, no problem, for charity. That's about it. Another stats guy asks, this applies to Brain Scratch too, have you ever considered adding academia knowledge, history, physics, calculus, etc. in your playthroughs? Like for example, in the Sonic universe, Africa is called Missouri. Intentionally or not, that's a reference to the Mormons. The Mormons originally believed that the Garden of Eden was in Missouri. They no longer believe that nowadays because of origins of humankind have clearly been proven as being from Africa. And, that's setting our standards very fucking high. I mean, I have no problem with like giving out the occasional fun fact, regardless of the topic at hand. But to go into like the historical relevance of maybe a reference made in a video game, or how this would statistically work in terms of mathematics or physics and stuff. I mean, physics is probably the one I'll probably get into the most, thanks to Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff like that. But if there was one person that probably do that often, it's Matt. If only because he's, without a doubt, the most intelligent person of us three. And I say that with no hesitancy because it's quite obviously Matt has a really broad knowledge when it comes to a lot of things. And, that's just one of his fortes. And me, I don't know. I'm more laid back. It's not a bad thought, though, I suppose. Kaiser Demon X asks, how do you plan on answering all these questions? Wait, don't answer that! Too late! I don't plan on answering all these questions. It's just a statistical impossibility because it just how many I get. And even then, like with like the later parts after I announced that this is going to be a Q&A Let's Play, I'm still getting questions at the wazoo and later parts of the videos. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But you have a real question, I see. Thoughts on Bravely Default? Let me see. What is the time of day I'm recording this? This is February 11th. And I'm recording this part, and I'm about 4 hours into the game itself, and I will say, so far, so good. It is, out of all the RPGs I experimented with, the one I mentioned last part was Ni no Kune. I played Bravely Default, and I'm getting very much into it like I would a classic RPG, like Final Fantasy. It's pretty much Final Fantasy without being Final Fantasy. And that's pretty much all I need. And I'm enjoying the game so far. I do, especially like if you have like a bunch of friends, you can get their friend codes to like build your destroyed town faster, and you get more items as a result. You can even summon your friends as one-time summons and stuff like that. And I was able to defeat the black mage. I forgot his name, but I was able to beat him by summoning Ted. So thanks, Ted. Maybe I won't replace you with Robo Ted after all. But so far, so good. It's a good game. So if you like RPGs, if you like your RPGs to be kept simple and not too complicated, then I would heavily recommend Bravely Default. Alright, so this brings me back. Jake 4 Blade. I believe that's how you pronounce your name. I recall talking to you in previous videos, but at this rate, my comic will seem okay. As a gamer and a YouTuber, would you be interested in full game walkthroughs that are done in a single video and are explained in a bullet point format? I've seen this working on for a while, but it's a lot of work even for one video. So do you like the idea or haven't you yet? Okay, so you're pretty much talking about like long plays and stuff like that. Like the gameplay is not broken up into multiple videos. It's just one long video, and that requires, to me personally, a different taste. You know, to me, I think there's a reason why Let's Players all across YouTube break their videos into multiple formats. I mean, for less obvious reasons, obviously, but. It's just, it's parts broken up into like 10 to 15 minutes are just easier to absorb than one huge 50 to 55 minute, possibly over an hour video. It depends on the game, obviously. Like, we here in this channel have no problem uploading a board playthrough of like Mario Party, because that's just how I personally feel a Mario Party playthrough should be done. It's like, it's a board game. It's a mini game in general and should be just posted as one entire video. And I don't think people mind that too much because, you know, if you take a look at our Mario Party videos, like the drunk one or the one we did for Mario Party 5, you know, and people still watch that sort of thing. There's still plenty of comments, plenty of likes, and just a lot of enjoyment in general, and I'm glad about that. But if it's like for like games like platformers or stuff like that, or action adventure games or RPGs especially, then you have to break that into many parts, because I just think it's just easier to absorb. I mean, you have to keep in mind of the viewer's schedule. You have to keep in mind of what your audience is doing throughout the day. You want to ask your audience for like 50 minutes to an hour of their time for that day alone, and that's a lot. Because you have to consider what they do for that day. Do they go to school? Do they have a job? Do they have other things they like to do? Do they, do they have hobbies that they like to spend some time on? And if you want to ask for like an hour of their time with just one video for that one day, then you really got to give them a good reason for that. And to me, a video game is not that good of a reason, to be perfectly honest. That's why you got to make the video small. Don't ask for too much of your audience this time, because, well, they have shit to do. But that's my personal opinion on it. And I hope I gave you the answer what you're looking for. Alright, Zietgeist446 asks, good Mario to you, and a good Mario to you. A simple question, have you ever played any of the... Alright, I'm not sure how they pronounce this. I'm just not sure if it's Ys or is YS games or remakes. Now, no, I never played any of those games. I've definitely heard about them. I don't think anybody here hasn't. But... Now, I can't answer that because I never have. I don't even remember what they're categorized under. Are they RPGs, or are they strategy games, or action adventure? I don't know. But no, I never played any of those, so sorry. Tanuki Joss asks, what do you think of the upcoming Sly Cooper movie? And I saw a question earlier about the Ratchet and Clank movie too, so I might as well kill two birds with one stone here. I mean, it looks interesting. I mean, it helps that I was actually able to expose myself to Sly Cooper thanks to Elliot Let's Play. But what can I say? I mean, it looks it looks pretty faithful to the game's universe. I'm saying that obviously without playing Sly Cooper 2, 3, or 4, but for both that and the Ratchet and Clank movie, I really do want to play the game series first before I ever consider watching it, just so I can have the mythos and the game's story in the back of my head when I'm watching them. But I mean, I don't see. It doesn't look bad to me, so I look forward to it. Immortal Doom asks, random question, are you a fan of Doctor Who? I can't be a fan of something I don't watch, so no. I never bothered with Doctor Who whatsoever. I never watched a single episode or movie. I don't even know how Doctor Who works. I know it's a television series, but that's it. And I don't have really interest. There's so much to absorb, I hear. The show's been going on for fucking ever, and I don't even know where the hell to start with that thing. Volan206 asks, can you feel the sunshine, Johnny? Does it brighten up your day? Fuck no, because it's cold as hell over here. And we're getting another damn nor'easter. We've got like 12 to 18 inches of snow. We just had like 6 other snowstorms in the last 3 weeks. Go away, for God's sakes. Getting a serious case of cabin fever in this son of a bitch. It's cold and weather. This cold air is doing murders to my joints. I can barely feel my right knee anymore. It cracks so easily, god damn it, and my fingers and toes get so numb when it's freezing in here. This room doesn't exactly absorb heat well. I think it's like maybe a crack in the window that I gotta get sealed, but I can't get it sealed until like the spring because it's so fucking cold outside. So no, the sunshine is not brightening up my day. I can see the sunshine, I can't feel it. Alex the Corgi asks, if you could have one superpower, what would it be? The super speed's kind of overrated. I don't have a good sense of direction, so I probably just run into a wall the moment I decide to start. Super strength doesn't seem that bad. And then you have to be really careful of how you walk. You can walk too hard, crack the asphalt, sink right to the center of the earth. You can fly, then you have to worry about jet turbines. Super stretching? No, then you have to worry about oncoming traffic. Being impervious? Yeah, but then again, if you get sick, you can't get a flu shot. Superpowers are kind of not what they're cracked up to be, I guess. I just want to be rich. There you go. I want to be Batman. No, I don't even need to be Batman. I just want Bruce Wayne's funds. David Cortez 1 asks, I don't see this question anywhere, so how do you feel about the Lego movie? This movie was this a movie that was just anticipated for quite a long time now? Because this is the first time I've heard about it. Obviously at the time of this recording, the movie's been out for a few days now, and I hear it's been getting a bunch of praise, and people are loving it. People of all ages, anyway, and I never heard of the movie until now. So, I guess something to consider. Like, the only movie I'm planning on seeing within the next week is the RoboCop remake. But if the Lego movie is getting a bunch of praise, then I might just make a stop to see that movie too. Alright, Slim Rake asks, hey Johnny, my question is this. What are all the things you need to make a Let's Play? Alright, well, obviously you need a computer with a pretty decent processing power, just for the sake of running the programs needed. You need to have, well, it depends on what you're capturing, obviously, but if it's something like older consoles or something like that, you may want to get a Dazzle or Elgato something capture that lets you capture using composite cables. If you're using HD consoles, you obviously want something like the Hopog HD PVR or Elgato Game Capture HD for the HDMI capturing. In fact, that's how I'm capturing this footage. I'm using the Elgato Game Capture HD, which is pretty much direct to HDMI output. Though you need a good processor in order to use this correctly, otherwise it's really picky. The only downside I have is it's really fucking picky. But besides that, when it comes to like recording your voice, you need something like GarageBand or Audacity with a USB mic. If it's just by yourself, and if you want multiple people like I do, like with SGB, then everyone needs to have their own separate laptop so they can have their own separate audio track, because I do not know exactly the process of capturing multiple voices at once. I think it requires a proper audio mixer or something like that, but I don't have one of those, nor do I have the money to buy one of those. My dream for like in like my 10-year plan in terms of this channel, assuming we're still up at that point, is to have like a real professional setup. It's like radio disc jockeys without actually being radio disc jockeys. Louis Geronimo asks, John, do you think Mega Man will come back in a new game, not including Smash Bros. 4? I don't know. I will tell you, though, if it depends on how well he's received in Smash Bros. 4. I mean, hell, just the fact that he was announced in Smash Bros. 4 gave him a lot of press. And, I don't know, the question is Capcom in any financial state to make something like a Mega Man game and get their money's worth out of it? Because they're in trouble, you know that. And, I don't know. Would a Mega Man game perform as well as what Street Fighter does or Resident Evil? That's the question, because if it doesn't, then I don't think Capcom's going to bother. But, they're dying anyway, and they need to do a lot before they can get their asses back in gear. So we'll see. We'll see. Max Ride asks, Johnny, hiya. Hi. My question is, if you could be anything from fiction or real life, what would they be, and state where the Higgs come from? Such as the Master Sword from Zelda. Thank you if you read this. I didn't really understand that question, but I'm guessing if I could have one thing from a fictional universe, what would it be? I would like the internet's interpretation of the 3DS or DS. It prints money. It's anticlimactic, I know, but, Texty Bubble asks, looking forward to Bayonetta 2? Yeah, of course I am. I really did enjoy the first game a lot. It snuck up on me how great that game was. I wasn't really so much of a hack and slash guy when Bayonetta came out, because I've sampled Devil May Cry a bit, and at that point the only real hack and slash experience I had in that current generation was God of War. And that satisfied me to an extent, but Bayonetta was just so over the top with its action and its style that it just hooked me from beginning to end. And Bayonetta 2 looks to be more of the same, and I'm not really seeing any issues there. So hopefully, the only thing I ask for is that it's stable and that it really wows me. Video Game Art asks, can you do a draw your life? Now I've heard that term before, so I'm guessing it's something you do, like is it like something similar to a question I answered a few days ago where someone would like me to live stream a drawing of mine, but or are they two separate things? Like, I don't know what a draw my life is, but if it's safe, then I don't see why not. Should I include the drug dealer? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Let me see. The Laser Sonic asks, John, where did the Luigi voice come from? Did you practice at all to perfect it? I wouldn't even call it perfected. It's just something. It's just something I do every once in a while when I'm in the mood. The stipulation really calls for it, though. You have to be really pissed off in order to get it down right. And I'm looking forward to doing it more when I go see those assholes out of PAX East. And every single character will fear my wrath, for I am Luigi, Lord of the Harvest. Yeah, I think I get the most out of it when I'm doing live Let's Plays with either the guys at Brain Scratch or just when I'm in control of Luigi in general and when the stipulation calls for it. The only thing I really wish I can do well is just improvise on the spot. Because when someone asks me to do my Luigi voice, I really want to do it, but I need something to run with. And I'm just not that very good at just coming up with something on top of my head. Magic Koopa Mark asks, paper or plastic? And yes, there is a right answer. Plastic. Because paper catches on fire. Plastic can too, but you got to put it in there for a while for it to melt. And, that's just... Yeah, I don't even know why I'm still on that. ZachMaster014 asks, could you review the Banjo Kazooie games? They rank up there with my favorite games of all time. I get this all the time, actually. Banjo Kazooie, Banjo Tooie. No love for nuts and bolts, though. Maybe there's a reason for that. But in order to do that, I would first need to own them. I don't own any of the Banjo games, and honestly, I don't know why I've been so on and off with it. there's just something about the Banjo series that doesn't exactly draw me in. It's kind of like, it's a similar feeling I have with like Donkey Kong 64 for the Nintendo 64. It's just something about it that draws me away from it. Now, I think it's safe to assume that many people think that Banjo Kazooie and Touhou are just much better games, but it's not. It's one of those games I really just got to sit down and try for myself, because the game doesn't do for anything for me when I see it in action with other people playing it and stuff like that. I just gotta have to one day, you know, either buy it on Xbox Live or get the original cartridges on the Nintendo 64. Bran Varsel asks, "Howdy, John. This is more of a question about BSC, if that's fine. Now, I'm aware that both you and Ryan are fans of Cowboy Bebop, and you two and Lewis were founders of the group. After having recently watched Cowboy Bebop, I noticed that episode 23 is called Brain Scratch. Is it right to believe that you guys got the name from that?" Correctamundo, Braniverse. That's exactly what Brain Scratch Counts is named after. It was named after that Cowboy Bebop episode. In fact, we mentioned that in the Cowboy Bebop retrospective that me and Ryan did. And yeah, that's where the name comes from. I had nothing to do with the name. That was pretty much all of Ryan and Lewis's idea. But yeah, that's where the name stems from. An episode of Cowboy Bebop. It also has something to do with video games too, so makes sense. Seems legit. Subject Epsilon 6075 asks, "Johnny, why on Arceus Earth do you prefer this abomination to the slightly less abominable Shadow?" They're both awful. Shadow's worse. I said everything I needed to say about that. You know, if you're still not sure, and I'm sorry if my review didn't really clarify that, but Shadow is just worse. It's just a ugh. Can't even remotely enjoy one thing about Shadow the Hedgehog. Maddie McCardle asks, "Did you ever watch Super Mario Bros. Z?" Yes, of course. Super Mario Bros. Z was pretty much it's the only thing I watched on the internet when it was all the rage before the guy decided to stop doing it. And, you know, I'm sad that he decided to stop. At the same time, I can understand, but, you know, really anticlimactic. But it was great. The action scenes were, it just kept escalating and escalating and escalating. I wanted to see how the hell was Mario and Sonic gonna beat the shit out of this one tonight. And, you know, it was really great stuff. Theanjo asks, "Any tips for taking care of your game collection / consoles? How to keep them running, neat and tidy?" Yes, dust those sons of bitches every, 2 weeks or something like that. You know, even if an old console has, a dust cover, dust can still get inside those consoles. So, you know, what you do is if you're washing, the outside of the console itself, you get a cleaning agent that doesn't, corrode anything, like Windex or something like that. Wipe the console gently, and then if you really got to go inside the circuitry or the vents, then I would recommend getting something like a Swifter, something that attracts dust via static or something like that, and you know just gently rub the vents if you need to get there. Of course, if anybody has any other tips or advice for this guy, then feel free to answer for me. But you know, it's really just a matter of upkeep. Just don't let it collect dust for too long, because that'll get inside the circuitry and fuck shit up. Masonic Curve asks, "Do you know any recording devices that record games that are cheap and in good quality?" No. Good quality recorders cost money. That's just a matter of fact, folks. You have to spend money in order to get that sort of quality. So, Pay8523 asks, "What are the origins of Bort?" Bort, well, in terms of the Zelda character, that's just named after a gag from The Simpsons. Yeah, the name Bort, from me and Matt's perspective, comes from a Simpsons episode. It was the episode where they go to Itchy and Scratchy Land, and Bart is looking for license plates. You know, those little novelty items you can get at an amusement park where you can find your name imprinted on a license plate, but they didn't have any Bart license plates. But they had plenty of Bort license plates. You know, the name itself, Bort, is just, I don't know, it's one of those words that just sound funny upon pronunciating it. And you know, it's like another joke in the episode itself where you hear someone over the PA speakers "We're out of Bort license plates. Repeat, we're out of Bort license plates." And I don't remember why exactly we named Link Bort for Zelda 1, but it just stuck, and now, you know, we reference it every now and then. Bort, Border, Bortis, Borticus, whatever. Okay, Iokiki21 asks, "Dear Johnny, how are you? Doing well, I hope. On the question, what is your favorite color? Question average flying speed of a swallow." Well, African or European? Austin on Sugar asks, "Most anticipated games of 2014? Well, I mean, there is Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, and I don't remember if the Phantom Pain is coming out this year or is that next year, but we still have the likes of, well, obviously my most anticipated game of this year is Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and 3DS. That's the one that immediately comes on top of my head, though, because I can't really think of anything at the moment. Obviously, I know I'm skimming past something. There's just something ringing in the back of my head right now that I can't immediately recall. But seeing that we have new consoles here, the Wii U, the PS4, the Xbox One, even though I don't have that, there are plenty of new games to look forward to. But as for right now, I can't say multiple games, but I can definitely say I'm looking forward to Super Smash Bros. 4. That's pretty much it. That is the go-to game for this year for me, assuming it doesn't get delayed. Hitsuji Mamoru asks, have you ever played the Wonderful 101? If so, what do I think about it? Wonderful 101 is one of those games I've been on and off with too. You know, especially with my Wii U library, I'm mostly digital, so I look at the eShop a lot, and it's just there in my face. It's like, buy me, John, buy me, and I'm just like, no, go away. But the advertisements just scream in my face. They're so loud. I don't know. I really don't know. It's just one of those make or break things, I guess. Alright, so this one is from Knock Yourself Out! Kaio. There's an exclamation point at the end of Knock Yourself Out, so you kind of got to scream that. Anyway, Johnny. I am a player of some easier games, or at the very least, more calm games, and I find a lot of enjoyment in them. However, there is one franchise I think is a much too touch on that is difficult. Touhou franchise, a series full of bullet hells. To make up for its incredibly difficult gameplay at times, it makes up with some very great songs and some funny conversations between the characters. The games don't exactly go deep into character development, but the manuals usually do give each character their own unique identity, being based on a lot of different myths and such. Translations found on the wiki. Well, you came prepared, good sir. While I am sure this question will probably never get answered, I may as well try. Sweet and short to the point. Would you give this franchise a shot? If you already have, what do you think? Yours sincerely, Kaio. P.S. Stay the fuck away from the fan base. Oh, thank you for the warning. Touhou. I'm well familiar with the universe. In terms of the games, no, I never really played one. You know, with the likes of Brain Scratch, you know, we sampled the likes of Touhouvania and Touhouvania 2. And I gotta say, if that's any indication of what the Touhou series, the raw Touhou series is like with bullet hells, no, I just I draw the line with like Radiant Silvergun and Ikaruga, and those are what I consider bullet hells. But I've seen Touhou in action, and I just, Jesus, where do you draw the line? It's bullet hell. I don't think it's a proper definition of what a Touhou game is, but I suppose I would have to play at least one, though. So, if I would have to play one, if you could recommend me one, what would it be? And with that, I will end this part of Shadow's Very Hard Playthrough. I will see you guys tomorrow with the finale of the Very Hard Playthrough, ladies and gentlemen. So, take care. I'll see you tomorrow night.